that we had at Twickenham last week. Of course, the penultimate tour, and this is just going to be such a great tie. What a start to the Emirates Edinburgh Airlines Sevens. Absolutely outstanding head-to-head between Samoa and Kenya.
Well, I'm sure Samoa will be watching out for this man, Humphrey Kaiangi there, the captain. He's a delightful guy. They're a lovely team and one of the world's favourites. And a team who could upset, you know, the top team of the moment in the opening game. It's always a difficult one, isn't it, the first one of the day? Colin Stanley of Ireland, first IRB Sevens last week, and important game for him.
Yeah, it is. Just going back to your original question about the warm-up for this particular team. This is 9:30 in the morning here at Murrayfield. These players have been here for a good hour and a half, going through their warm-ups, going through the preparation. The stadium, of course, quite quiet because the crowds haven't quite come in, but this is an important tie for both teams.
Behind the line.
Well, one of the greatest Sevens exponents ever is Uali Mai. This is 67th tournament, sets it underway, and Samoa, knowing that they want to set off on the right foot. Remember, of course, the top two in the pool. That's the initial challenge to get into the Cup quarter-finals. And the bottom two in the pool, which will be difficult in every pool to assure. And
Crouch. Touch.
the early nervous moments here.
Ball in, ball in. He's on.
Samoa together with Kenya, France and Argentina in this pool. And this is Pessamino, first touch of the morning. Good tackle coming in
Off his feet.
from Biko Adema, that was. And turnover ball. Here come Kenya, those athletic, wonderful runners, but can be temperamental, can sort of lose their concentration, their focus occasionally. Terrific against New Zealand last week, and then because they'd not qualified for the Cup quarter-final, one sense they'd lost their way a little. Watch for the man with the green boots. Taken in by Kahutia. Good possession, good continuity here, offloaded by Asego. Now the big run for the corner. Dongo. That's just the opening that Kenya wanted, and will set Samoa back and increase the important confidence of Kenya.
Yeah, good ball retention by Kenya just to strike the early ball. But it was good penetrative running. They had the man out wide, and Leon Adongo out sprinting Uali Mai in dots down in the corner. Just a quick word about the conditions. Yes, very dry, but there was some overnight rain here at Murrayfield, and actually the surface is quite slippy. Collins and Dewey had gone in there with the ball to set up that phase of play, but superb try there by Leon Adongo.
Well, great start by the least experienced in the Kenyan side. It was only his third try ever. This is 7th tournament now. Scored one in London against Wales, but that will be a great confidence booster. And confidence, so much of the game, Scott, isn't it?
Absolutely, and possession ultimately so much of the game as well. Samoa just will have to regain the kickoff, and what is key within this modern game is that the quality of the kickoffs. If you can retain the possession from the kickoff, it makes it so much harder to chase the ball than when you've got the ball.
So first try for Kenya. Samoa have often been down and come from behind. One of their specialities. In goes Pessamino there. Uali Mai, like a terrier at the base of the scrummage. Lovely vision of the game too he has, and very powerful. That was Rupene Lavasa. It's been a mainstay of the side last few seasons. To Lola Louis, the captain in the midfield, on now Afa Ayona. Just straight out of the under-20s 15-a-side team in Samoa. This is Pessamino. He'll be well marshalled. In comes Kaiangi to close them down. They're good at that, Kenya. Uali Mai sets it up again via Pessamino. Lola Louis. Again, all about the possession. Lola Louis breaks the tackle. That should lead to the try. This is Fa'o Saliva. And that just shows you in an instant, a missed tackle is as good as a gift of a try to the opposition.
And this guy's been one of the top performers, Alapote Fa'o Saliva, all the way through the tournament. The size of his thighs are like tree trunks, and the way he's able to shrug off tackles He's quite an outstanding athlete, and we'll see a lot more of him over the next weekend.
This was poor defence from Kenya, and then the accurate passing. Well, this 24-year-old, like all of the Samoan players, all based at home. They made a decision a couple of years ago that their 7th squad would all come out of the island. And this guy, as Scott Hastings said, has been absolutely outstanding. 24-year-old flanker in the 15s game, but the mobility as well as the strength. And look at, as he said, look at those tree trunk thighs, fit and strong. So with the conversion, 7-5 Samoa ahead where they want to be, and ahead is where they want to be at the end of this weekend. Breakdown again, Fire Saliba once more, pressure here, and just rescued there by Lavin Asego. Stephen Beetham there and Fa'amoni Lalamilo, the Samoan management. Exciting times. They've never won the overall crown. They lead New Zealand by 7 points, and well, it's theirs to lose, this overall title. Reigning champions South Africa of last season are out of the hunt, but New Zealand, who've won it 8 times, are still very much in the hunt. But it's Samoa piling it on now through Simaika Mikaele, fed wide by Iono. Bit crowded on that left side, hustled there by Kenya. They come open, 4 against 3. The little offload to Pessamino is a beauty, and they're getting into the groove. Try number 51 for Mikaele Pessamino.
Yeah, Mikaele Pessamino, one of the outstanding runners in this season's IRB 7th circuit. But Samoa, we talked about the possession, and when the possession comes, they look comfortable on the ball. Just shrugging off the tackle, they offload into Pessamino, cuts a good angle, dots down behind the post, and suddenly Samoa now looking in control.
Lola Louis, their ace drop goal kicker, and those little extra 2 points can be so significant in the end. That's 2 converted tries then, 14-5. Lovely work by Iono. He's been quite a find, this 21-year-old. Captain the Samoan under-20s in the Junior World Championships 2 years ago. And lovely understanding, teamwork, vital. Went forward there, says referee Colin Stanley. Lola Louis, advantage played. There's no respite at all in 7s. It's just in your face on top all the time. The drive on, and the drive through, and it's that man again, Alafote Fire Saliba. And they've really got control now of this game. Perhaps that little setback at the beginning gave them a bit of a kick up the backside and got them to focus.
Yeah, also the physical side of the sport. The Kenyans were just hanging off tackles there, didn't nail their men. Samoa were able to then break the tackle, get in behind the defence, get the support, and as we said, possession is key, and also looking comfortable. Uale Mai, Lola Louis, my apologies, dots over the conversion.
5 points down, now Samoa lead 21 points to 5. Member of their World Cup squad, Samoa, who got to the semi-finals, losing to Wales, who went on to win it, of course, but in superb form this season, and proving the point as they challenge for the Murrayfield crown. Stephen Beetham, who took over this season. What a season it's been for the man who took over from Rudy Moores as the coach. This season, they won in Las Vegas, Adelaide and Hong Kong, after a very poor season last, but it's another story. Well, perhaps coach Benayimba will have had suitable words for Kenya. They've just been outgunned just about in the last 6 minutes of that first half.
Interesting stat coming up, because Kenya have missed 4 tackles, which have resulted in Samoa breaking through, scoring tries, and now 3 tries ahead, all converted, where Samoa's try came from good play and an overlap that was created to put Odongo in. Samoa, on the other hand, have not missed a tackle in this tie so far, and it just goes to show how important that defensive alignment is.
Yeah, we tend to focus on the positive side of the attacking runners, the sprinters, but it's the defence which creates most of the opportunities to score.
Thank you.
Alafoti first, Saliba, and Lola Louis looks on. So, bit of a mountain for Kenya here, who had that tremendous performance against New Zealand to draw on day 1 last week at Twickenham, 19-all, and then the next morning were pretty convincingly overturned by the USA and were confined to the shield, where they do not want to be. That's the bottom of the 4 tiers: the cup, the plate, the bowl, the shield. And Samoa looking as though they're in the mood certainly to head for that important cup quarter-final round tomorrow. In possession again, Rupeni Lavasa, another who plays out of Apia, the capital of Samoa, into Lola Louis, switching back to Simaika Mikaeli. That's more like it from Kenya. Positive defence and creating little room for Samoa. Uali Mai, lovely little hands into Pessamino, hands from him too, that little show, and the stroll round. The referee just follows it round, and Lavasa, Rupeni Lavasa, 24-year-old from the Vailele club, has an easy score. And Samoa carry on their winning way.
Well, one of the beauty of sevens is when you're under the microscope and the magnifying glass, you can accentuate the skills, and this looks so simple from Passamino. Just his quality of his pass there to just draw his man. How many times do we see that on a rugby training field? The 2-on-1, but expertly executed on this occasion.
One of the interesting things about the change in Samoa's style of play is that they tend now, having done the opposite, they tend now to avoid, when they can, the physical contact, averaging only about 7 rucks during their attacks in a game, and they are very clinical as well and try to keep the ball in hand and offload before the tackle. One time they used to take the ball into the tackles all the time, but they've changed tactic and it's worked a treat. So just 7 minutes each half. It flies by. Sometimes if you're clinging on, it seems an eternity, and if you're behind, it just goes in a whisker. So Kenya, Kayangi just taps back, flicked away by Kahutia, then Asego. Haven't really seen Injera get a run here. He's in support on this attack. The man there with the fluorescent yellowy green boots needs something urgently. Not impossible to come back at this stage, but it means instant tries. Bit of a slip pass from Victor Sudi Simiu. This is Injera again. They're playing him up the middle, not out on the wide, and it doesn't seem to be paying off. Victor Sudi Simiu. Kayangi, Humphrey Kayangi, who's the brother of Collins Injera, 2 mainstays of their squad. This is Injera here. I don't think he's well placed trying to drive up the middle.
No, he didn't play well last week either at Twickenham. He really didn't get the hands on the ball. And it just goes to show the defence from Samoa how they're frustrating Kenya. And Kenya having to work so hard to find the space, and here we've got the turnover that's come through.
Vital moments, those turnovers, the grafting work of the likes of Trevor Annis, who's come on, and Pessamino is there to receive the accolade of yet another try in his remarkable season. He gets the glory, but I guess it's the turnover that really was the winning of that try.
Yeah, very much so. Kenya were back and forward across the pitch, trying to find the holes from Humphrey Kayanga, the captain. And once the turnover happened, Samoa just went wide, creating the 2-1, Passamino in for the try.
Well, he's had his best ever season, his 52nd try, and well, I'm glad he switched from Aussie rules. This is the first form of football he ever played. Well, this has been getting towards the biggest score that Samoa's had over Kenya. The actual highest points was 50 points to 10 when Kenya had not come up to the top table. That was some 4 years ago, 50 points to 10 then. But it just shows the mood that Samoa are in.
Well, absolutely, and when you consider, Nigel, you mentioned it earlier on, 19-all against New Zealand last week at Twickenham, and suddenly you see them 35 points to 5 down. It's quite an amazing, you know, opening start for Samoa, who are looking good. Kenya will then be scrabbling for the rest of the day, trying to get through the cup competition.
With France and Argentina, the other two in this pool, no easy pools. There was a time when you could count on one, certainly, and perhaps two good wins for any team at the top, but now all the top coaches will tell you there is no easy encounter, and this pool will prove it. Albeit Samoa are making this look easy at the moment. Uali Mai wide to Fatu Otto. Three can come off the bench of any five, and this is really slick now. And the old maestro Ali Mai first played in Hong Kong in the year 2000, still as well as ever. He's retired a couple of times, the old taxi driver, which is what he did before he switched to rugby, but he's still a master of the game.
And a great read of the game, 66 events. It was he who started, but watch that inside angle that he took. And it's just a superb try. Fatu Otto giving the reverse pass set up by this man, making it look so simplistic.
Married man who's had his first child early this season, and certainly has seemed to have lifted his game even further. Former IRB Sevens Player of the Year.
He must like Scotland because he was awarded that award actually in the ceremony across in Glasgow.
Yes, and we thought then it might be the sort of the swan song of his career, but no. Back he came, and interestingly, he was destined to go to Cornish Pirates. Couldn't get a visa at the start of this season to allow him to play in that fine club down in the West Country. So Stephen Beetham said, well, come back and play sevens again. I bet he's glad that that visa never came through. Uali Mai then leading by example, former captain Lola Louis, the captain this season. And we're into the last couple of seconds, 42 points to 5. It's been a drubbing, and well controlled this one by Colin Stanley, the Irish referee. And there the 7-minute hooter sounds. The scrummage will not happen. Well, Kenya will have to go and think again, but for Samoa, that's the perfect start to their title challenge. 42 points to 5. They certainly look invincible on that form.
This program is